All right, so today we're going to dive into something I think you'll find really fascinating. We're talking about black pepper. Yeah, you know that familiar spice in your kitchen? You got that pepper grinder sitting right there on the table. We're going way beyond just, sprinkling it on our food. Today, we're uncovering the history, the health benefits, even the culinary adventures, all the things that black pepper has to offer. And we've got a great source here. It's called The Marvel of Black Pepper: Health Benefits, Uses, and Cultivation. And believe me, the title does not lie.
You know what's incredible is that this spice we take for granted, it was once so valuable, it was literally used as currency. Imagine pay your taxes in peppercorns. That was the reality in ancient Rome.
Okay, wait. Paying taxes with peppercorns? That's wild. It's hard to imagine something so commonplace being that valuable.
Really highlights how different the world was. Before established global trade routes, spices, particularly black pepper, they were incredibly sought after, held immense value in Europe. They were a symbol of wealth, exotic lands, all that.
I guess it's kind of like how we think of saffron today. Super expensive and only used in special dishes.
Exactly. And that historical context really sets the stage for understanding why black pepper was, and still is, considered the king of spices.
Okay, so we've got this ancient treasure, but what gives black pepper its distinct punch? I mean, it's got to be more than just flavor, right?
You're absolutely right. The secret weapon here is piperine. It's the compound that gives black pepper, that signature heat. And get this, it can actually increase the absorption of certain nutrients by up to 2,000%.
2,000%. Seriously. So if I'm sprinkling black pepper on, say, my turmeric latte, I'm actually getting way more benefits from the turmeric itself.
You got it. Turmeric contains a powerful compound called curcumin, known for its anti-inflammatory properties.
Ugh.
But curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. Adding black pepper with its piperine significantly enhances that absorption.
So black pepper's like, "Oof," it's like a sidekick, making those other nutrients even more effective. That's amazing.
It's a fantastic analogy. And beyond piperine, black pepper itself, packed with vitamins and minerals, vitamins A, K, and C, plus essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and iron.
So we're talking ancient currency, flavor enhancer,
Hmm?
and nutritional powerhouse. Okay, I'm officially intrigued. Let's break down these health benefits. What can black pepper actually do for us?
Well, starting with digestion, piperine plays a crucial role. It essentially acts as a signal to your stomach. It's saying, like, get ready, food is coming.
Yeah.
It does this by stimulating the production of hydrochloric acid, which is essential for breaking down proteins and nutrients.
So less indigestion and bloating, that's a benefit I think we can all appreciate.
Exactly, and that enhanced nutrient absorption we talked about, that comes into play here as well. Black pepper helps your body get the most out of every bite.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. What else is going on in there?
Well, black pepper has powerful antioxidant properties. Antioxidants are like tiny warriors in your body, fighting off those pesky free radicals that can damage our cells. And those antioxidant effects, they've been linked to reducing the risk of chronic diseases, like heart disease and some types of cancer.
Okay, so it's fighting disease from the inside out. What about everyday aches and pains?
Black pepper's got you covered there too. It boasts anti-inflammatory properties, which, as you know, can be very helpful for managing those everyday aches and pains.
Yeah, I know I reach for the ibuprofen a little too often. Maybe I should try adding some black pepper to my diet.
It's certainly worth exploring. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this next benefit might surprise you. Black pepper may also help boost brain function.
Oh, come on. Now you're telling me black pepper can make me smarter. That's a bold claim.
There's promising research suggesting that piperine can stimulate the brain and enhance cognitive function. It might even offer some protection against neurodegenerative diseases.
So maybe that pepper grinder should be a staple on every student's desk.
It's definitely something to consider. And this is where things get really interesting. Black pepper isn't just good for what's inside your body. It might actually benefit your skin as well.
Wait, black pepper on my skin? That doesn't sound very comfortable.
Not directly on your skin, but its antimicrobial properties can help fight acne-causing bacteria, and the antioxidants can potentially help reduce signs of aging. Some people find that including black pepper in their diet or using skincare products that contain it can benefit their skin.
So we're talking digestion, brain power, and even skincare. This little spice is really stepping up its game.
And there's more. Black pepper can even be an ally in weight management. It has thermogenic properties, which means it can actually help your body burn fat more efficiently. It can also give your metabolism a boost, increasing your energy expenditure throughout the day.
I'm starting to see why they call black pepper the king of spices. It's like
Mm.
this unassuming ingredient with all these secret powers hidden inside. It makes you wonder what else we're overlooking in our kitchens.
Absolutely. And we haven't even gotten to its culinary uses yet. Black pepper is more than just a sprinkle here and there. It's a key player in cuisines around the world.
Okay, now I'm really ready to move beyond my basic pepper grinder. Let's talk about how black pepper elevates our culinary experiences.
It's easy to think of black pepper, as just kind of like a background flavor, something we just add to our food without much thought.
Oh yeah, I know I'm guilty of that. I usually just grab the pepper grinder without even thinking about it, without even learning about, all these kind of hidden benefits. I'm starting to see black pepper in a whole new light.
And that's the beauty of it. Black pepper. This humble spice with a rich history and a surprising depth of flavor.
So let's get specific. How does black pepper actually elevate our culinary experience?
Well, we have the classic pairing with salt, of course, that combination. It's a staple in almost every cuisine, enhancing the flavors of savory dishes.
Right. Salt and pepper, like the dynamic duo of the spice rack.
Exactly. But black pepper goes far beyond just a basic seasoning. It's a foundational ingredient in countless spice blends across the globe.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. I love experimenting with different spice blends.
Well, think about the incredible diversity. Garam masala in India, with its warming blend of spices. Cajun spice in Louisiana, bringing the heat to those southern dishes. Ras el Hanout in Morocco, with its complex and aromatic flavors. Black pepper is often the backbone of these blends, adding depth and warmth to the overall profile.
It's fascinating how a single spice can be so adaptable to different culinary traditions. What about using it on its own?
Black pepper shines in marinades and rubs for meats. It not only adds flavor, but can actually help to tenderize the meat by breaking down some of those tough proteins.
This is like a flavor enhancer and a meat tenderizer. That's a win-win in my book.
Absolutely. And here's where things get a little more adventurous. Black pepper in beverages.
Hold on. Black pepper in drinks, now that I've got to hear more about.
It might sound unusual, but black pepper can add a wonderful layer of warmth and complexity to certain drinks. Think about masala chai, that delicious Indian tea infused with black pepper, cinnamon, and ginger. It's the perfect balance of sweet, spicy, and comforting.
Oh, I love masala chai. It never occurred to me that black pepper was part of that flavor profile, but it makes so much sense now.
Right. It adds that subtle kick that really elevates the other spices.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What other unexpected uses are there for black pepper?
Well, did you know? It's also used in pickling and preserving. Black pepper acts as a natural preservative, extending the shelf life of food, while adding a subtle depth of flavor.
So it's practical and delicious. I'm starting to think black pepper can do it all.
And we're not done yet. Prepare yourself for this one. Black pepper in desserts.
Whoa, hold on. Black pepper in sweets. That sounds risky.
I know, it might seem counterintuitive, but a touch of black pepper can actually enhance the sweetness of certain desserts, adding a surprising warmth and complexity.
So we're talking chocolate with a kick? Or maybe some spicy fruit compote?
Exactly. Think spicy chocolate truffles. Or a fruit tart with a hint of black pepper in the crust. It adds a subtle bite that balances out the sweetness.
Okay. That's officially going on my list of things to try. Maybe a black pepper-infused apple pie?
That sounds delicious. And it speaks to the incredible versatility of black pepper in the kitchen. But we've been talking about black pepper as if it's the only kind, when in fact, there's a whole family of peppercorns to explore.
Wait, there's more than just black pepper? I had no idea. Tell me everything.
Well, you're probably familiar with black peppercorns, but they actually all come from the same plant, Piper nigrum. The difference lies in the processing methods, which create unique flavors and aromas.
So it's like different varieties of apples. They all come from an apple tree, but they have distinct flavors and textures.
That's a great analogy.
Oh.
For example, have you ever cooked with green peppercorns?
Now that you mention it, I've seen them in jars at the store, but never really knew what to do with them.
Well, green peppercorns are harvested before they fully ripen and are often preserved in brine or freeze-dried. They have a fresh, bright flavor that's milder than black pepper and often used in sauces and pickles.
That makes sense. What about those white peppercorns I've seen? They almost look like little pebbles.
White peppercorns are made from ripe peppercorns that have had their outer layer removed. This gives them a more subtle, earthy flavor, and they're often preferred in dishes where you don't want those black specks.
So it's mostly an aesthetic choice.
It can be, especially in creamy white sauces, where you don't want little black flecks. But white peppercorns do have their own distinct flavor profile as well.
Okay, that's 2 down. What other peppercorns should we know about?
Well, there are red peppercorns, which are fully ripened pepperberries. They're a bit harder to come by, but have a complex, fruity flavor with a bit more heat than black pepper.
So if you're looking for something special, red peppercorns are the way to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about the peppercorn family, we should mention pink peppercorns. They're not technically from the Piper nigrum plant, but come from a different plant altogether.
Right, I've seen those too. They're a beautiful pale pink color.
Exactly. They're milder and sweeter than black pepper, with a slightly fruity aroma.
From mild and fresh to spicy and complex, there's a peppercorn out there for every taste. This is blowing my mind. Can't wait to try them all.
It's amazing, isn't it? But before you run off to the spice aisle, let's take a step back and explore the journey of black pepper from plant to plate. It's a fascinating process that most people never even think about.
Okay, now you've really got me curious. Take me on a black pepper adventure.
Okay, so we've explored like all this stuff about black pepper, the history, the health benefits, how to use it in the kitchen. But I'm really curious about like the actual journey, How does this spice actually get from the plant to like my spice rack? It all starts in tropical regions where the Piper nigrum plant thrives. These plants love warm, humid climates. And instead of growing from seeds, they're typically cultivated from cuttings.
Cuttings, so they're essentially taking a piece of an existing plant and like growing a new one from that.
Exactly. It's a bit like cloning the best plants to ensure higher quality and a better yield of peppercorns.
That's fascinating. I never realized there was so much like intention behind peppercorn cultivation.
There's a lot of care that goes into it. When the pepperberries on the vine begin to mature, they're carefully harvested by hand. It's a labor-intensive process. That really highlights the human element behind this, global spice trade.
Wow. So much work goes into something that,
Yeah.
we often take for granted. What happens after the berries are harvested?
That's when the transformation really begins. The berries are spread out in the sun to dry. And it's this drying process that gives them that characteristic black color and that intense pungent aroma.
It's amazing to think that something as simple as sunlight plays such a crucial role in developing the flavor of black pepper.
It really is the heart of the process.
Yeah.
Sun drying is essential for concentrating the oils and compounds that give black pepper, its unique character. Once the peppercorns are dried, they're either ground into powder or left whole, depending on how they'll be used.
And then they make their way to our kitchens, ready to add a touch of spice and history to our meals. It's incredible to think about the journey they've taken.
From ancient trade routes to modern-day kitchens, black pepper has truly stood the test of time.
Well, I gotta say, this deep dive, it's completely changed the way I look at black pepper. I never realized how much history and flavor and even health benefits were packed into that little jar on my spice rack.
That's what we love about these deep dives, uncovering the unexpected stories behind everyday things.
So, for you listening out there, the next time you reach for that pepper grinder, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey of this spice from its ancient origins as a prized commodity to its modern day uses as a, culinary staple. And a potential health booster, black pepper has earned its place as the king of spices.
And remember, there's a whole world of peppercorns out there.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be explored. Don't be afraid to experiment with different varieties and discover your own personal favorites.
I know I'll be looking at my spice rack a little differently from now on. Who knew there was so much to discover in the world of black pepper? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And until next time.
Happy exploring.